You get to be on camera with us.
You get to give your own opinion. You get to give your own opinion. Zoe says hi. Zoe's going to do all the talking because Zoe's the smart one in the group. Aren't you the smart one? You're the smart one, that's right. Yeah.
I'm Lucy.
And I'm Brian.
And we're with Whoa Nellie RV Adventures. Okay. And we have an addition today. We're babysitting.
This is Zoe. And here's Fort Casey. We came across to Port Townsend. Stayed the night.
So we stayed the night in Port Townsend at a fairgrounds. And that was probably the worst time we ever had trying to level Nellie. What did we take, like an hour?
Yeah, we couldn't. It was all like all four corners were
off.
In some other direction than level. So we got to what we thought was level, had to get back off again, add a few blocks.
The ground was grassy, soft, mushy. So when we're thinking we're getting it level, it's actually sinking down. It was the worst time.
Yeah, it was. We've had better luck leveling Nellie through this trip.
Oh yeah, it was a brutal trying to level situation. But what did we pay? I think we paid like $18.
Yeah.
To stay the night, no services, but they did have a dump station.
No, we had electricity.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we had electricity. Remember that guy showed up in the middle of the night next to us?
Oh, yeah.
And throwing his stuff.
He was living in his car because his wife kicked him out of the house.
And he was trying to get all his stuff out to build his little tent or live in his car and everything that was...
And he was half drunk trying to do it in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something else. That was an experience
that was our favorite neighbor on the whole excursion. Because he was fun. It did help though. I brought him light, and then we turned on the outside lights to give him some light to help him set up. And the weird thing was, is you paid for a slot, but everybody was kind of in and out of slots all over the place, and we kind of parked between slots to get a better shot at level, because the slot we were in, you couldn't get level. It was just, it was one of those cockeyed angle things. And if you looked over, there was very little level ground anywhere. The tent camping on the back wall, everybody there had their tents were cockeyed, or if they were in some sort of RV, one side was 5, 6, 7 inches off the ground just to try to get close to level. And we had the same problems. Once we got level though, it was it was quiet. It was they had showers, and but it was definitely not a well-maintained area.
Yeah, so. And it stunk.
It did.
I guess they also do horse shows and stuff like that. It had a smell too, so it was not one of our favorite places to stay.
They came down the 20 and got on the 101, and we're right here somewhere. We haven't made it to Sequim yet. And then we're going to continue up the 101.
Dungeness Spit was pretty neat.
And why is it called a spit?
I don't know. Why is it called a spit?
It's this long peninsula.
Because it looks like a piece of spit going out into the ocean.
I don't know. It was this long peninsula that went out, and it went out, what, 6 miles, and at the very end is a lighthouse.
Right.
And it's like a protective barrier for the inner bay.
And Brian's trying to talk over you, and he can't talk without his hands.
And they have all this driftwood that's laying on this spit to keep it from washing away. They want it to stay there as a protective, just like in a marina where you have the wall in a marina keeping the water calm. And
sure, being a good guy.
the same thing with the spit. The whole purpose of the spit is to keep the water from rushing over and erosion. So they use the wood, the driftwood is left on the beach to protect the spit from being eroded away, because during high tide a lot of the spit is covered, and then in low tide you can go out and walk on it. And
well, we only walked maybe 2 miles.
Right.
Out. That was about it. We didn't walk all the way to the lighthouse. But
we walked out where somebody had erected a piece of driftwood up, like it looked like a telephone pole from far away, but it was just driftwood. It was set upright, and we walked. That's how far we walked out. Older, more and more people are going to need to sit down.
Well, this trail so far, it looks like it's completely handicap accessible, so this is really nice.
Yeah.
And they even have a bench in front of this tree so you can enjoy it.
So you can stop sitting on the tree?
Maybe.
It says it's a Townsend chipmunk. Of course, raccoon. Seals, otters.
So no squirrels, huh?
Like they says there's a rough-skinned newt. Douglas squirrels.
Oh, Douglas squirrels,
yeah,
okay.
Townsend chipmunks. Yeah, but is that a chipmunk or a squirrel? A chipmunk, right?
It looks more like a chipmunk to me than a squirrel. But
Yeah, could be.
I know. Well, I don't know. Would that be the squirrel?
Or would that be the chipmunk? Look, the Dungeness River is the second steepest river in the U.S. It plunges 7,300 feet over 32 miles.
Wow.
It's a pretty steep drop.
Yeah. Styrofoam indefinite. Bottle indefinite.
Oh, glass.
Or 1 million years.
Yeah.
Leather shoe 25 to 40 years. Orange 6 months. Paper 2 to 4 months. Disposable diaper 10 to 20 years.
Yep.
Nylon fabric 30 to 40 years. Cigarettes 10 to 12 years. Wow, this is interesting.
Yeah. Slippery, careful.
Carrie? Mixture of sand like at home, but with a lot of rocks and pebbles. Well, now here it's like all pebbles.
Yeah.
What do you think that is on there? Like some sort of...
I don't know.
It looks like a face.
Yeah.
Is it in the rock? Oh no, it's like a leaf on the rock. So maybe it's seaweed?
I have no idea. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sure that wasn't Bigfoot?
Hopefully you can stand so you can see his eyes. Ooh.
Alright, here, I got it. I got the fix. Set it in there. There you go. that's where we were earlier today when we saw this stuff. And there's the lighthouse out there. Next stop was a old railway bridge that had been put in use on the 125-mile Olympic Park Trail, and they had reconditioned and refurbished this bridge, and we went out on it and then went down below it and down by the little stream that it crossed, and you could actually see on part of it where the bridge used to go, and where they didn't refurbish that part, and where you could walk up onto the bridge and look out over the water.
And it's not far from the Dungeness Spit.
Right, it's just down the street.
Yeah.
Really
I really
nice.
enjoyed that bridge just because of the way the framing, the way they did the framing, and it was nice and wide. They really did a good job of refurbishing the bridge and
part of a trail.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see the bicyclists coming across, people swimming down in the creek or the river.
So it looks like in 1994 they converted the railroad bridge into a trail bridge.
Climbing, jumping, or
Diving is prohibited.
Yeah, really pretty, really nice. Nice little walk down there. Wheelchair accessible. So they have the ramp.
Except for the trail underneath, right up on
Right. They're wheelchair accessible to the trail that goes over the bridge. Yeah, that was fun. That was nice and cool, and
It's beautiful there.
yeah. The next stop was Madison Falls, which is right to the entrance of one side of the national park, and you pull in and you park, and it's right there. I mean,
it's like a 2-minute walk to get to the falls, and I think that because it was such a short walk to get to the falls, it surprised us how pretty it was, because you know, as far as falls go, it's not super extraordinary, but it was such a surprise to like stumble across it so quickly, and it was this cute little cove area.
It was really pretty. That was a good part of the trip. Just the fact that we ran into other travelers and locals that were going to the falls because it was so close and such easy access that people were visiting it all the time. And it was.
But trying to get to Madison Falls is another story. If you don't know right where the falls are, you know, off the road and making the turn to get there, you'll get lost, because we did.
Yeah, we got lost.
It probably, I think that's why the falls was so inspiring to us when we saw it, because it was so difficult to find it. So.
And I mean, it's actually off the main road to the entrance to the park, but Didn't quite know where exactly it was once you got down there, and didn't quite know exactly the roads to get there. But
and
once
there's no overnight camping, but what we did is on the drive up to the falls, there's some pullouts, and there was a fifth wheel there.
Yeah.
He was probably maybe a 30-foot fifth wheel that he had pulled over to camp the night. And so we talked to him and asked him if he'd mind if we parked in the same pullover, and he said no. And
yeah, so we boondocked right there.
yeah, so even though there's no overnight camping in the parking area to Madison Falls, there are some pullouts. Are you all done? Okay. You all done? You want to sit right here, Zoe?
No,
No, she's all done.
she's all done. She got her 15 minutes of fame.
Yep.
And Zoe's on other videos also.
Yeah.
She's on our Portland video.
Yeah, and you could look at the card for that video. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at that.
That's cool.
Oh.
This is so cool. Yeah, so then after Madison Falls, our plan was we were going to take the 112, I think it is.
Yeah. And then take the 112 all the way out
To
Cape Flattery.
Meat Bay.
And maybe that's the Indian word. See? And
all the way up to Cape Flattery? Is that the name of it?
yeah, I think so. It was all the
very tip of
north,
Washington.
the north and west point of the peninsula.
Yeah.
But the roads, talking to some of the volunteers
At Dungeness Spit.
They said the road was more of a logging road and
Curvy.
lots of twists and turns. And we had already experienced twists and turns with Nellie when we went to the
Highway 242.
right.
Yeah.
And
And I'll
the
put that video up there too.
Deek Observatory.
Yeah.
And
D. Wright
Observatory. Yeah. We'll have to come back and catch on the 113 back onto the 101 and continue the journey.
Yep. So we decided that we weren't going to add that to our trip and we would just start heading south.
And that's what we did.
Yes.
Future videos coming up.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Heading south down the coast of Washington, Oregon, and California.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fun days.
Well, this is our first video of 2019, so we wish you all the best in the year to come, and
happy trails. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll talk at you soon. Bye now.
Hats off to you.